And I just think people should, just see things clearly and not get wrapped up in the emotion of whatever's happening in the current moment,
Right.
which is basically impossible. I mean, I noticed you called the stream, something about slop or slopulism or whatever. I mean, at this point, the right is so cringy, Rebecca. I'm saying I'm center left because I don't want any. I just don't want to be associated with the absolute cringe fest that we're witnessing. On both sides of the pond, really.
Oh, absolutely. You did an excellent video.
A lot are retarded, but your lot are just as retarded, so I don't know what to say. Yeah.
You did an excellent video. You've mentioned Candace Owens and Slop content multiple times, and I continue to check in on her views, on Tucker's views, and the views that these people are getting are just incredible. Candace Owens, during this Charlie thing, she's averaging 10 million views on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's I just cannot believe it. So why do you think that we are so dumb on the right? Why do you think people desire this content? We talk a lot about short form content and dopamine release, but Candace is long form content and people are just eating it up. They're slopping it up. So what is the psychology behind the desire to consume this?
Yeah, I mean, I think we should probably delineate between what I'm talking about and Candace Owens a minute, okay? Candace Owens is basically right-wing Oprah, right?
Yeah.
Right. If you watch her stuff, okay, she's got like 10 minutes of conspiracy stuff, right? And then very quickly it gets into Candace's drama. Who's she feuding with this week? Now she's had a fight with Nick Fuentes. Now she's had a fight with this person. Now she's calling this person out. It's basically like it's a soap opera. It's pro wrestling again, right? But it's kind of more in the kind of Oprah or Jerry Springer mode. So that's what Candace Owens is about. I mean, I have a theory that her role, and I don't have much to prove this, by the way. I am convinced that Candace Owens, if anybody in the actual information space at all sows disinfo, it's probably her. Right. And I've got various reasons for thinking that. But so I would put her to one side a little bit because the scale of her and her audience is a bit different. I imagine a lot of women watch her, right? I'm talking about just like the rank and file online, right? Your feed, your timeline, okay? Imagine a field that is absolutely covered in rakes, okay? And imagine you step on 3 of those rakes, right? It smashed you in the face and broken your nose 3 times already. There's something wrong with rightists because after doing that, you'd think you'd learn, but they then want to step on the 4th rake and the 5th one and the 6th one and the 7th one, because this time it's happening, this time it's real, etc., etc. And when you point it out in the moment, people call you all sorts of things. And then 2 weeks later, everybody's forgotten about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's news cycle after news cycle again and again. I mean, and what Trump has done, which is genius in a way, is he's managed to hook people on these news cycles that are really quite quick turnaround, and then nobody remembers anything. Nobody remembers anything ever, right? Or arguments you had just a couple of months ago. Give you an example. Liberation Day. Do you remember that? Crock of shit.
Yeah.
Right?
I
fell out with people over that. I said, look, this is not going to do anything. This is it's the end of globalization, AA. It's the end of Chai America. It's the end. Jobs are going to come back. This is it. This is what we voted for. I said, look, they made up the sums. The formula doesn't work. This is bollocks. And within the space of a week, he'd gone back on all of those announcements and all of those things. He went back on each one of them, and then he cut to China. And now here we are, 9 months later. Does anybody remember Liberation Day? Does anybody talk about Liberation Day? Did anybody and this is the thing. People move from news cycle to news cycle, racking up these L's, and then they forget about them because now the most important thing is the next thing. Now it's Charlie. Well, we've even moved on from Charlie Kirk already.
Here.
Now it's some other bullshit. You know what I mean? So
You don't get to
this
ask
is,
those questions.
this is the issue. It's kind of slop brain.
What's wrong with you, Mom?
No,
Sorry.
now I'm gonna have really weird dreams. Thanks a lot.
I know, right?
That clip is circulating. The most recent iteration of this, though, was the H-1B visa thing. Everybody's like, "Oh, well, H-1Bs, it's going to be over because it's going to be $100,000 a year. It's going to be too expensive." And we have Lutnick coming out saying repeatedly, "Annual. It's $100,000 a year, $100,000 a year." And then it comes out, it's $100,000 per new visa, which basically affects us none.
Right. And by the way, isn't this like the 9th time that we've had the H-1B fight, even within the last year?
Yeah.
Remember,
People
we
just
had
forget.
the one that was the Elon Musk go fuck yourself in the face.
Yeah.
That was one fight.
Yeah.
Now we've got a new, and it's like, I feel like on a hamster wheel.
It's so infuriating because if you tell your audience, no, this is more of the same, it's more of the same, don't get hooked into this, they'll be like, "You doomer bitch. Why are you so negative? You want everything to fail." I'm like, I want people to be realistic about what's coming down the pipeline so that we can be more prepared. You have to accept the reality of the situation we're in. People they do not want to hear it. They don't want to hear it.
No. People like want, go ahead.
Let me just tell it to you straight on this, okay? When Tony Blair was spent all summer, day and night, not sleeping, implementing digital ID, the British right spent the entire summer climbing up and down lampposts and putting flags up and declaring a massive culture war victory, right? And I was saying, like, look, this is just going to be, this energy is going to be sapped up. It's going to all go to Nigel Farage. There's going to be this big Tommy rally that's going to happen. And it's not going to amount, it's not going to actually, like that energy is going to be sucked up and fed into electoral politics. And the upshot of it is going to be Prime Minister Nigel Farage, who, I mean, if Trump is a fake, God knows about Nigel, okay? And see, the thing is with Trump, I've come up with something now, right, which I call Trump's law. I don't know if you're familiar with this. Trump's law is everything he does, everything, and I mean everything he does for them. Who's them? That little country in the Middle East. He does it for, it's always for Israel, right? And it'll come wrapped as based. It'll come wrapped in some kind of thing designed to appeal to you lot. But when you actually look into it, it will ultimately be because of Israel. Like, for example, remember there was that whole thing about bringing the white South Africans back. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Remember there was that whole, right. Now, what was that actually about? That was actually about South Africa being the country to take Israel to the International Court of Criminal Justice for genocide. Right. So they attacked South Africa specifically for Israel, but they sold it as based because, right, in order to get the support of these people who want to believe that Trump is there for them. But when you start to notice this pattern, you then start to notice that the stuff that is for the base is always done in this kind of manner that can easily be reversed or overturned, right? It'll be an executive order, judge strikes it down, doesn't go through Congress, doesn't get through properly. It's not properly done. Something that can easily be like in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month's time, it can easily be walked back or undone. Whereas when it's stuff for them, every I is dotted, every T is crossed. And I first noticed this actually back in when, do you remember Ron DeSantis passed something called the Stop Woke Act? Do you remember that?
No.
In Florida?
No.
Right. So Ron DeSantis passed something called the Stop Woke Act. This was back before we even knew Trump was going to.
Was this where they instituted some kind of reform in kindergartens about tranny in the tranny propaganda?
Right, so
or was it the time that he went to Israel to like clamp down on free speech?
Right. So this is where I was coming from. So the Stop Woke Act, at the same time as he did that, he did this anti-Semitism bill, right? And he won like the medal for Zionist Hero Award or something. He's actually like standing there with a medal from Israel for services to them or whatever. Okay. And you just read those two acts side by side, right? The Stop Woke Act and the anti-Semitism one. The anti-Semitism one is tightly defined. There is absolutely no legal ambiguity to it. There's no like there's just no wriggle room at all. It's done to the letter. The Stop Woke one clearly is just done for there's so much wiggle room there. There's so much ambiguity. Clearly, there is a difference between the one that was done for the base and for the cameras and the one that they were actually serious about. And that's something that you can, that's something that Trump has continued while he's in office. Yeah, and a lot of things wind me up with it, because once you see this pattern, you see that and I sympathize with Devon Stack, right? Because Devon Stack recognized this 6 years ago, right? And he pulls his hair out because people fall for it again and again and again. Doesn't matter how many times you point it out, because on the next one, they've already forgotten it again. But yeah, once you see Trump's law, you will not unsee it. Yeah, I mean, and there are lots of things that annoy me. Like, oh yeah, one of my least favorite things is base Stephen Miller. Oh, he's one of the good ones. He's like, oh, come on.
The Hebrew hammer.
Like the meme of oh yeah, come on. How can you be against this one? And it's like, come on, you have to see what this is about. They are wearing your nationalism, your populism as a skin suit to garner support.
Absolutely. Right.
For Israel. And it's a trick. Once you see the trick, how can you unsee the trick?
What are we supposed to do with these normies? Because I understand where Devin is coming from, of course. But I think if we don't play into this narrative, I worry that none of us will ever gain any kind of alternative media popularity, like in a meaningful way. I don't really think that we need to get the movement going, but I would like to capture some of those people, although I've completely lost faith in the normie.
Well, I mean, there's two different things there, right? One of the things you have to understand is that online politics, right? By which I mean this show, my show, tweets and things, aren't actual politics, right? It's a kind of form of shared entertainment, or but it's not, cannot substitute for politics, because politics is always organization. Lots of it is boring. It's logistics, and it has to be an organized minority, or you might say a vanguard, right? And it has to be in the real world. So there's a two different set of incentives, right? Because if you want to start a political movement, okay, what you're looking for is a dedicated, tight-knit group of people who all think the same thing, who are actually going to be prepared to roll their sleeves up and do stuff in the real world. That is all, politics ever, revolutionary movements, and even just normal political parties. That's what politics is. Online streams, online shows is different. So if you want to maximize your audience, if it's just about eyeballs, then yeah, you can just say stuff that's going to please the audience, right? You can come on here every day and say, we're winning so much, guys. Trump is really going to smash the left this time, and there are plenty of channels who do that, and they do get hundreds and thousands of views, millions of views, because people like hope, people like optimism.
Can you see this photo?
I'm a realist who will. How can I put it? Like I can maybe I've got like some autistic problem, or I can only just tell the truth. Like some form of weird Tourette's, where I can't do it. I will not go there. And now, see, the thing is, we've just lived through and we've just witnessed the first 9 months of Trump. Now in Britain, the exact same play. Like it's so embarrassing. They're literally rerunning the same script, right? Of Keir Starmer versus Nigel Farage. Okay, do you remember the whole reason to vote for Trump is because Kamala was so much worse? Well, in this country, Labour are so bad, they're so awful, right? Yeah, Nigel's not perfect. Yes, Richard Tice is kissing the wall, blah, blah, blah. we have to, and this is the thing. This is the neatest trick of democracy, of liberal democracy, is they'll give you literally a massive shit as one thing, and you're like, well, I don't want that, and you're like, okay, well, here's a shit with a flower in it, and I'll be like, right, no, okay, it's still a piece of shit, yeah, but it's got a flower in it though. Right, and this is the thing, and it's the same thing in every single election, right? I mean, I voted for Boris Johnson to keep Jeremy Corbyn out, and when that happened, and he came in and he did the Boris wave, the biggest amount of immigration ever, I said never again. And then in the last election, I led a campaign called Zero Seats to destroy the Tory party, right? I.e., they don't deserve to be a party ever again due to the betrayal of Boris wave. Okay, and it was we didn't quite destroy them. They still got 100 seats or something, but they are massively diminished and they look like they're about to go extinct. Okay. And I'm pleased with those results that we managed to destroy the Tories. But now, in a way, it's back to square one. I always used to say that the Tory party is like T-1000, like, you ever seen Terminator 2?
Yeah, of course.
Like you've covered him in liquid nitrogen. You've blown him up. He's in a million pieces, and now the bits of mercury are coming back together again. And I'm like, look, the Tories, they're down, but we have to actually destroy them because otherwise T-1000 is going to come back. But the system is so clever, and it's got like so many of these layers of defense that they're literally just recreating the Tories in reform now.
Right.
They're just and literally Tory MPs are going over there now, and the right wing press and the Daily Mail and so on, they're all like suddenly they're all right with Farage now. But just like they're all right with Trump now.
There's a growing sentiment, of course, across the West that there is no political solution, which I'm happy to see that coming forth. But we've been covering on the show the insane number of riots in the UK, and it seems like even digital IDs in effect would not stop this organic movement towards violent reform. And I don't think that they're going to be successful in stopping it. Do you think that the British people have had enough?
Well, when you say the insane number of riots,